So today I want to kind of just talk about this phenomenon, the Gen Z stare.
Phenomenon that's taking over. It's called the Gen Z stare. Now it looks like this. It's basically a blank stare with dead eyes and complete silence, often used in customer service jobs, or it could be a response to a parent asking something really annoying like, how's your room cleaning up going? Now, there's been some criticism of it, saying that
That's good.
that's actually quite good, isn't it? I like that. Is Shervo there? We got Shervo? No, okay.
It's always so interesting when I encounter these things that are going viral online, because a lot of this stuff is like, okay, how much is it for, just the views and for clicks, and how much is it for clout? But when I actually experience it, my mind is just always blown. So this was this whole phenomenon with the Gen Z stare, and it was something that was pretty popular, right? So basically, a lot of people were going in, they say boomers, but I think millennials were encountering it too. They were going into, like, I guess, stores or places where these Gen Z people were working, and basically they would just get a blank stare, just like this, as it said in the video. And a couple of months ago, I went into a beauty supply store, and I lied to you not. It was the weirdest experience. I worked in customer service, right? I used to work at Target, so you go up to the person, or someone looks at you. You're like, oh, hello, how are you doing? How are you? But it was these two, I think, girls. They were like 19, 20. They were like their early 20s. And I went up to them because I was just looking for something. And when I had went up to them, I said, excuse me, can you help me with, yada, 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 yada. And I swear to you, they looked at me just like this. Like the one girl, she was sweeping. So she was sweeping, she was sweeping, she was sweeping. They, I swear, it's like they were looking at me like I had two heads or something. And they turned to me and they looked at me just like this. And I'm taken aback. I'm like, hello? Like, did you guys hear what I said? Now, sometimes I can talk pretty low. So I just was like, do you guys know what I'm talking about? Like, can you say something? And it was it wasn't like for a minute, because that would have been too long of a time, right? It was for maybe, once you ask something, it was like a second too long. Like it was cringy, right? It was very cringy. And I'm looking around, I'm like, hello? I'm like, okay, is it something I said or something like that? No, they literally just stared at me. And I think I just said, oh, are you guys not aware, like, of that product or something like that? Are you guys, like, not aware of it? And then eventually she was like, oh, okay, I can, like, try to help you or something like that. But just the way that they were staring, I'm like, did I say something crazy? Did I say something that was foreign? Or, like, what is going on? And then I thought back, I was like, oh, this must be what people were talking about when they're talking about the Gen Z stare. Now, I don't have, like I said, I don't have much encounter with people who are younger than me. I really only have my siblings that I encountered that are Gen Z. And, when I have to get on the bus and ride the bus, I hear the conversations that just some of these high school kids are having, and I'm just like, thank God I'm not in high school anymore. I'm just so glad I'm older, because some of the things they be talking about, like, especially that whole, I don't want to go off on a tangent, but I know I think it's a big Gen Z thing where it's the 6'7", I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, what are we coming to? But I can't be so far removed, right? Because I'm on a cusp, right? Was born 1996. So 1996 is the end of the millennials, and 1997 is the start of Gen Z. So I'm like right at the cusp. So I might want to, not say too much about Gen Zers in case they try to change the what's it called? The year, right? In case they try to change the year. Oh, Gen Z now starts at 1995. Because they'll do little stuff like that. And I know right now we're in Gen Alpha, and that's just a whole. Gen Alpha. Oh my gosh, they're just a whole thing of they. And now that we're living in a world that a lot of people have a hard time just conversing with others and like connecting with others. I have my own struggles myself, but I would just like to think people know if you're going to work in retail, right? I would like to think that people would know how to kind of, be hospitable. And let's say they didn't even know the product I was looking for, right? Well, she didn't know. Just be like, oh, ma'am, I don't really know what this is, but give me a second to look it up, and I will try to figure that out for you. And I would have just been like, oh, okay, that's fine. Like, just don't stare at me. You think that something is wrong or something that I said, but it was just really strange. And just the stuff that you see and you hear, you don't think that is real until you actually experience it for yourself. Don't get me wrong, Gen Z people, they're very intelligent. I feel like they're very intelligent. They're very smart when it comes to computers and things, and that's the next generation. That's really it for today's video. Let me know down below, have you encountered a Gen Z stare? Are you a Gen Zer? Do you do the stare? Let me know. Other than that, thank you for watching. Bye.